let's start. Okay, so first of all, today we are going to see that the ID that came in build from the Python, we will use that in some cases. Okay, so I'm just showing you just to give you an example how you can use that. Nothing else. We are going to use most of the time VS Code. Okay, I'm just going to show you how you can use that. Okay, so just let's start with that. And if you didn't access this playlist, I will highly encourage you to access this playlist first, so you can just start downloading the Python and installing all the things that you need to follow along with this with this playlist. Okay, so let's start. Okay, then first I'm going to go to my folder that I'm working with currently right now. So that folder is called Python master, this folder. Okay, you don't have to open this folder at all. Okay, so just first thing first, uh, what you can do is you can go to this search bar and search for Python. Okay, and then you can get to this IDLE Python. Okay, so if you open this IDLE Python, then you will get an interface like this. What that is similar to this interpreter that I already showed you in the previous video. What this interpreter do is, let's say if I run a Python command, print hello world. Let's say you don't have to understand what I'm writing right now. Just see that if I type print hello world and press enter, it is giving an output like this. Okay, hello world. It is giving an output like hello world. Okay. Now what it does is, whatever you write in here, let's say you write any command, any code of Python, it will execute that line by line. Okay, I mean, if you write a Python code like this, print hello world, and press enter, it will execute this line. Okay, now it gives you the next line to show that. So if I say a equals to 10, I'm just showing you a equals to 10, it's giving me nothing. Okay, because I'm not printing anything. Now if I print a, it will give me 10. Okay, so it is just executing everything one by one. First it executes a, this line, then it executes this line. Okay, so what I'm trying to let you know is this: Python always execute line by line. Okay, so whatever you write first, it will execute first. Okay, most of the cases it will execute line by line. Whatever you write first, it will execute it first. Whatever you write next after that, it will execute that after that. Okay, so the thing is, uh, when you are working with C and C++, uh, you have to compile that code, whatever you are writing the code. So when you compile the code, it will bundle everything on that executable file. It could be an exe file if you are working with Windows. It could be an .o file, object file, if you are working with a Linux. Okay, so in that case, the whole compiler checks the whole code if your code is working properly or there is any syntax error or semantic error, anything like that. Okay, so in Python it doesn't work like that because we are using interpreter. So Python always start with executing the first line. It says the first line, is the syntax correct? Yeah, it's correct. Then execute it. Then it executes it and give you a output. Okay, then it goes to the next line, like this line, a equals to 10. So it checks that if that line is true or not. What I mean to say is, if that line syntax is correct or not, or if you made any mistakes on that line or not. If there is a mistake, it will raise an error. Okay, you will see then that error comes in. Now the very interesting part is, if you made a mistake in the third line, let's say this line, the code will execute until the second line. Okay, that is the pretty interesting part, because in compilation language, the compiler when you go to compile your code, it will show the error at first. Okay, that this is your errors. For this, your code cannot be compiled. Okay, okay. So I just want to let you know that. Okay, so let's go to this. So this ideally shell is the same as the normal Python interpreter. So if you type here print hello world, hello world, and you execute it, see it is giving an output of hello world. Now what I'm trying to show you right now is this. If you go to a file here and you tap on a new file, it will open up a untitled file, okay, which is not saved. Let's say I'm here giving an input print, not input, I'm giving an executable code hello world, and now let's say I'm giving another input print hi there. Okay, now see, I'm going to save this. I'm pressing Ctrl S, or you can directly go to this file and tap save, and I'm saving this on my folder Python mastery, and I'm naming this as a test file, and I saved it. Okay, so now see, in this folder there is a file called test file which is saved. Okay, now if I go to this file and press F5 on your keyboard, F5, or you can just go directly here and tap on this run module. Okay, so if I press F5, see it executes. Okay, it executes. See, this is calling restart from drive A in the Python mastery folder, run the test file.py. Okay, what is .py? I will show you. No need to worry. So it is executing, giving me 2 lines of output. Okay, now see, if I made a mistake here intentionally, I am not giving the closing parenthesis. Okay, and saving it now. Okay, I saved it. Now if I try to run this, see what happens is it is giving me an error syntax that I put an opening parenthesis, but I didn't close it, was never closed. Okay, so let us just see, if you made a mistake it will give you an error here. Okay, so this is pretty good, but in most of the cases when you are working with an large amount of data, let's say you are scraping a website and getting a huge amount of data and seeing if there any conflict between data types or things like that, I will teach you data types in the next video. But when you are seeing that if there is a data type error mismatching, so in that case this file cannot handle that kind of error. Okay, so you have to handle it yourself. Now if I close this, let's just close this, I will show you another thing. Let's say I'm opening my command prompt here and just opening the VS Code here. Okay, I opened my VS Code here. You can see my VS Code is open right now. Okay, so this is the file test file.py. Now what is this .py? This .py means this is a Python file. Okay, see in the right hand bottom corner it says Python. Okay, so the language automatically the VS Code automatically detected that this is a Python file. Okay, now here you can see it is telling me that select an interpreter. Okay, if I tap on the select an interpreter, I am going to tap on this one. Okay, this global interpreter, which I installed in the previous video. If you didn't see the previous video, just tap on the go and see, watch the previous video. Now why this is showing me global? Because in my machine everywhere it is going to use this Python 3.11.1, okay, executable file to interpret this Python files, interpret this Python codes. Okay, now what this recommended thing does is this is a Python environmental variable. Okay, Python working environment. Okay, I will teach you about virtual environment in the intermediate playlist, but right now you will select this Python 3.11.1. okay, you selected it, now it is selected. Okay, so there it is Python selected. Now if you go to this tab, extensions tab, now if you tap on Python, okay, you have to install your Python. This extension here, it is showing me uninstall, but it will be showing you in a button for install. Okay, so tap on that install and it will be installed in your machine or in your VS Code. This is just extension. It will help you. You will see. And there is another thing called code runner. Okay, I already installed it. So this is one. So it's saying in here you also will get an install button. Just install it. Okay, it is showing me reload required. So I'm going to reload the full VS Code. Okay, it's reloaded. Now if you go here and let's open our profile, it's saved. Okay, so I'm going to cross it. Now if I tap on this play button, or you can right click on this file and go to here we will see run python file in the terminal. Okay, if you tap on this run python file in the terminal, or you can press on this play button, the python file will run. Okay, I press on this, see, it is running hello world, hi there. Okay, so if you ever need to run this python file manually, so what you can do is you can go to your folder where your python code file is living right now. So there you can open your command prompt. Let's say I'm opening my command prompt, it is opening here. I'm going to clear this shell. Okay, I cleared it. So see, this python mastery folder is now linked with my command prompt. I'm now the python mastery file is folder is opened in my command prompt. So now I will just check what are my files right now. So there is a file called test file. So now I'm going to run it. So how I can run it with my command prompt? So to run it with your command prompt, you have to type python. Remember one thing, you don't have to write python 3 in Windows. If you are running everything in your uh, Ubuntu machine or Linux machine, Linux distro, or you can use your Mac. So in Mac or Linux, you have to write Python 3 here. Okay, Python 3. Then write your file name. Okay, whatever you're trying to run, write your file name and then execute. But in my case, I'm using Windows, so I'm not going to write Python 3. I'm going to write Python testfile.py and tap enter. Okay, so you see there is two output, one is hello world and then another is hi there. Okay, so you can run your Python file like this also. Okay, so in most of the cases we run files like this to test some things or quickly debug some things. Okay, so yeah, that's it. uh, I'll see you in the next video. Bye until then.